So I didn't actually write about the picture that I contributed. I collaged text, and the texts I chose are texts from Jean-François Lyotard, The Libidinal Economy, in which he talks about the body. And I chose a section of that text together with a Wikipedia entry on the potato. The reason is that this image I chose to me looks a lot like a potato, but it's called 433 Eros. It's a NASA image of an asteroid. And I was very interested in how this very potato-like object that has never been seen by an actual human eye is imbued with so many, with so much imagination and potentially also with desire. So that was where this very banal vegetable, very earthly thing came together for me with this very desirous text. My response to the exhibition and the theme, I think it's too early for me to say something about the exhibition because I'm just beginning to see it. But the theme was interesting to me because I had already been working with this particular image. And as I mentioned, it's a NASA image. I didn't take it. I picked it, and as far as I know, it was taken by a space probe and was assembled from a number of digital shots to depict what we see there. So I think some of the questions that Seamus Keeley, the curator, asked around this exhibition in terms of what can photography be today, what is digital photography, I was quite thrilled because I thought, wow, this image I'm already working with really responds to that, in the sense that I could be so attracted to an image that did not have all this aura that Barth, I think, saw in some of the traditionally photographed images, so that this new technology does not in any way, in my opinion, limit photography to have something like a punctum. And I think for me it was also the fact that I was already interested in a photograph of an object that was eroticized to some degree. And the fact that Roland Barthes writes about the punctum as something that pierces you, that physically affects you. And again, that I chose the Lyotard text that talks about the body really as this desirous body that is bent on death, in a sense, seem to all come together in a really, really interesting way for me. Now I have mixed up your questions. I think I said a little bit already about whether photography is dying because of its digitization. I don't think so at all. I think it's easy to forget because film-based photography was always, it has been around for a while, but if we think about that being a technology like other technologies that are used for representation, I think drawing and painting are a type of technology, although what they do not share is this idea of creating an indexical imprint. Digital photography can certainly still do that. It will develop its own qualities, I think. We will say, oh, this must be an image from such and such a decade because we recognize the kind of quality the camera would have had and things like that. So I think there's just a whole other universe that has yet to be discovered. And I guess that also answers the last question you posed, which is what is the nature of photography today and what do you think of its future? I think it has a wouldn't say a bright future, but it has a future that, as with any future, we don't know what it's going to be. But I see no reason for it to end in any way.